Alright, we've got a 3-on-3 here with Skippy, Matthew, and Neo on Team 1, and then we have pcap, scottagorn, and Jack on Team 2. Scottagorn, Jack, and pcap in the north, and then Matthew, Skippy, and Neo to the south. This is a great map. It's got a lot of different border points for plenty of conflicts. 2 different catty corner locations with plenty of resources and supplementary supply depots for being able to bring up extra money. And let's see how we're going. Looks like Neo and pcap are both starting to bring their forces in to try and contend for that center. Neo with his worker versus the dozer. Now GLA is faster at being able to get people out, and looks like Neo's already sent 3 out, whereas pcap has got 2 dozers out, and pcap is going to try and run over the worker in order to prevent him from building things, but doesn't look like he's actually paying attention and may not be able to prevent that. Skippy and Jack contending for the center, with Jack already starting to build his Gatling cannon. And looks like he should be able to reach out and prevent Skippy from continuing to build there. And then we have Scottagorn that's already starting to garrison buildings and prevent Matthew from being able to make significant inroads, although Matthew was able to build a laser defense turret and get his construction dozer over to that hard corner beforehand. pcap starting to also build some defenses in order to account for or to contend for that corner. And pcap also has a Gatling cannon for being able to reduce any men that come out to nothing instantaneously. Not going to be a lot of help. But he also is starting to go after that barracks. Neo starting to try and build some defenses. He's got a 1 stinger site set up already. pcap has also got his dozer down there and probably will be able to start building quickly. And then Scottagorn and Matthew are starting to go head to head. And it looks like Matthew has built a barracks. He should be able to have the capability to capture buildings and start capturing oil derricks in that supply center. While Scottagorn is starting to build tank hunters on the Chinese side for going after Matthew and that construction dozer. But I don't think he's going to be able to overtake the Rangers and the laser defense turret that's up there. Yeah, he's trying to go for that bunker and wasn't able to quite make it. Also building lots of forces. pcap has also managed to get a Gatling cannon down. Take out a GLA hole. I'm not sure what that was originally. And pcap is also starting to build supply centers and barracks. So it looks like he's gotten the jump on Neo for being able to take that far corner. Whereas Matthew has been able to garrison the barracks, and looks like he is going to win the northwest corner. Not going to be able to take down the hit points for that bunker of Matthew from Scottagorn. He would need a flame tank as China to be able to take that out, and doesn't look like he's got anything nearby for being able to handle that. However, Scottagorn was able to capture a couple of the tanks in the nearby area, so that may be helpful. And this battle between pcap and Neo is continuing on. He's got a dozer that is trying to field the Gatling cannon. He's able to take out the Marauder tank and a couple of quad cannons. Plenty of resources coming in for pcap from the side. pcap has also been able to build his airport and Jack also got his supply center up. starting to build some tank hunters and significant defenses in this area on his border. Skippy got a couple of stinger sites and tunnel networks. Scottagorn has been able to capture multiple artillery platforms, as well as building his Gatling cannon. So it looks like Matthew beginning to steal the oil derricks, and Scottagorn is not able to contest this far corner, while Matthew continues to draw more supplies. Matthew's starting to build another supply center. So right now, Matthew is overtaking Scottagorn for being able to hold that far center, whereas pcap has got the jump on Neo for his southeast corner. So right now, things look fairly even between the two teams. pcap starting to steal some oil derricks as well, or excuse me, plane. Brian's starting to build a palace at the far back of the map, far out, hopefully far out from an attacker's grasp. Matthew starting to build some barracks and other forces. Not too much over by his direct base, by his command center. He's been focusing almost all of his efforts, it looks like, on this northwest corner. He's got 2 supply centers, a laser defense turret, and 2 Chinooks. pcap starting to build some forces. Neo starting to build some defenses to try and counteract that Gatling cannon forces that's over there, but it seems that pcap is making a push and may be able to prevent that. It looks like he's got a couple of Neo's got a couple of missile defenders inside that bunker. pcap still only with the 1 supply center from China. Got 3 barracks. Hasn't done anything for capturing oil derricks, and so Matthew's doing a little bit more on the pushing side for retaining as much as he can over there. Scottagorn making something of a push over here, but there are just too many missile defenders. Those things are going to get eaten alive. Also, it looks like Matt hasn't, well, Matthew is USA, but he was able to use some of the workers in order to build a war factory, but hasn't bought the upgrade for missiles, the Scorpion rocket yet, or the Scorpion tank. Scottagorn also managed to capture himself a reinforcement pad, but that tank is immediately going to be taken out by Matthew. pcap still trying to push ahead a little bit, but looks like he's been repulsed by the combination of Matthew and Neo's forces. pcap, though, been able to build his propaganda center, which allows the technical stuff as well as a nuclear missile site. So, Matthew is the only USA force and has not built any airfields yet. So, any kind of a major force we're trying to take over that nuclear missile is going to be difficult. Looks like pcap's out of power though, so he's not actually. Oh, there he goes. He was able to get his power back up. He also has nuke cannons, pcap. Maybe causing Neo and Matthew some severe difficulty with that nuke cannon. He's got Emperor tanks, 2 war factories, plenty of resources coming in. If you got that second supply depot in the southwest or southeast corner, you would be totally unstoppable. In the meantime, though, he's got some mean units that are going to cause some serious damage and hurt on these units. That nuke cannon does not seem to be able to find a spot for setting up. Skippy looks like he's starting to build a Scud rocket and a rocket buggy Storm combination force. And there we go. pcap was able to get his new cannon set up, while Neo is harassing the tanks with a rocket buggy. Looks like pcap is going to have his nuke cannon try and go after the bunker. Oh, no, he's going after a single site. Ooh, and there goes the rocket buggy going after the nuke cannon. But the nuke cannon's going to take him out. Brian building was able to capture the central airfield and now starting to build some camouflage. Helicopters. And there goes that bunker. Those 2 nuke cannons are going to be causing some serious damage unless Neo is able to take them out. I'm not sure what... oh, there he goes. pcap is paying attention now. Going after the tanks. He's about to lose one of those nuke cannons from the rocket buggy, but he's able to take them out with his tanks first. pcap going after the Stinger sites and long-range harassment of the buildings that Neo has. Neo's starting to also build a significant number of black markets in everybody's base. Oh, and we have pcap with his Black Lotus starting to steal airports in Matthew's base. He is making some serious inroads. I missed that one. See if he's able to capture the command center. That's what he was doing. He was getting Black Lotus into Matthew's base. Like Neo dropped his beacon to try and bring attention to the fact that pcap is making some serious damage. Matthew's starting to build some laser defense turrets. And it also looks like Skippy had brought in a couple of helicopters to try and take over. And Black Lotus was laying low during that time. In the meantime, stolen another building. Skippy with the Blackhawk is back there. pcap probably focusing on his Black Lotus, while this force is also being harangued from Neo on all sides. pcap making significant progress. Jack also with a number of Extreme Emperor tanks going after Brian's central defenses. Scottagorn has built significant nuke cannons in the center as well. So it looks like just Matthew is the main force that's standing in the way. Matthew coming in with some quad cannons and rocket buggies, but it may not be enough. There goes Jack, completely decimating Skippy's central defenses. Skippy's got a Scud launcher there, but it won't last very long. pcap. That Scud launcher dead. pcap getting harassed by Matthew's rocket buggies up here. pcap also bringing in an ECM tank to deflect those missiles. So pcap going after supply centers and trying to choke off Neo's supply of funds. Scottagorn also has significant resources. He's got a lot of hackers, a number of hackers that aren't doing anything, but doesn't seem to be causing much detriment to the fact that he's just built up an incredible force over here to the north. Not exactly using it. Jack using a whole bunch of units. He was able to clean out Skippy pretty well in the center. It looks like pcap's force has gotten thinned out just a little bit by defenses coming up from Neo and his allies, but still making excellent progress. Looks like pcap's about to lose his nuke cannon, although he was able to, pcap was able to eliminate the Marauder. And now he's going to lose his support. But those Emperor tanks making some serious damage against all of Neo's stuff. So once again, we had Skippy, Matthew, and Neo on one team, and pcap, Scottagorn, and Jack on the other, and pcap making some serious damage into Team 1's side. Jack also coming in with China and making excellent progress against all of the units that he comes into contact with. There goes the tank, just running over a Scorpion tank. Emperor tanks are the only tanks that can just run over other vehicles and immediately crush them, like normal tanks can run over infantry. Skippy with some toxin troopers going after the tanks that are attacking. pcap starting to continue to build ECMs and Emperor tanks, a lot of stuff. Oh, and looks like pcap also managed to build capture some oil derricks in the supply center, so he's doing better on resources now. Just trolling through Neo's base right now. Not a whole lot of effort to stop it. And Matthew here, ton of missile defenders. They get that laser lock on an Emperor tank and it hurts. Although the Gatling tanks on Gatling cannons on the Emperor tanks pretty short with missile defenders. Too many of them. This southwest corner will be taken over momentarily, and then it'll just be Matthew's base to the northwest that'll be left for cleanup. pcap coming in to take out the rest of Skippy's base. And it looks like Skippy's trying to launch some Scuds onto the Emperor tanks, but the self-healing nature of both the one particular Overlord to keep them from having any significant damage. He looks like Skippy's just got a couple of black markets and a palace left. Now this is where the USA's capability to be able to reveal where enemies have all of their stuff once every couple of minutes comes really in handy for being able to filter out where an opponent's rest of their forces are and to be able to clean them out efficiently. pcap sending in some artillery, as well as carpet bombing on top of Matthew's stuff, and a nuclear bomb at the same time. Oh, so much. Neo continuing to build black markets. It looks like the fight right now is between these four overlords and a Gatling tank. I'm going after some of Neo's central buildings. It looks like pcap's already lost 2 overlords. He may lose a 3rd. No, he was able to take him out. Neo building tank hunters. Or, excuse me, RPG troopers, CLA. pcap cleaning up the last of that. Neo still has a stinger sight out in the border, but that won't count for keeping him alive. He does have a black market, well derrick, which also doesn't count, and then a barracks, a palace, 2 black markets. And it looks like Jack's coming in with a whole ton of Emperor tanks, which is going to make quick work of the last of Neo's buildings. Although Neo is trying to build a black market in the middle of Matthew's base, Matthew's forces should be able to protect that for a little while. pcap coming in, cleaning up the last Skippy and Neo. Him and Jack coming in from the top and the bottom. And then pcap finishing out the last of Skippy. And I didn't notice that Skippy has one last barracks up in Matthew's corner. So we're almost done. But like I said, this is going to be the last push up in the far corner of Matthew's. So Skippy has got 1 barracks, probably not that much money left. Matthew, he's got 1, 2 black markets. pcap continuing to use his general capabilities to carpet bomb, drop tanks, drop artillery. Everybody is going to be headed up for the last showdown. Here comes Scottagorn with a bunch of nuke cannons. Matthew shooting with a bunch of tank hunters inside of a bunker. His Scorpion tanks are also going to come in to try and flank around Matthew. Or excuse me, Matthew's tanks will flank around Scottagorn. Those Scorpion rockets can sure pack a heavy punch every time that they're launched. The self-healing capability of the Overlord, though, hard to get around. You have to actually kill it, otherwise it'll just finish itself and get itself in well healed back up again. Matthew trying to complete the overtaking of the Scottagorn's overlords. His missile defenders are making excellent progress against them, while Scottagorn is trying to take out a few of the buildings before Matthew finishes them off. Now we have pcap, Jack, Scottagorn coming with the last of their forces. They continue to build, but this should be the last push. Matthew is building more tanks. Scottagorn is also using some of his nuke MiGs for taking out a number of Matthew's buildings. And now here we go. Scottagorn with a number of Gatling cannons coming in to take out the missile defenders and Scorpion tanks. pcap also with an artillery barrage going after artillery and barracks. There goes Matthew's Scorpion tanks. And Jack with a ton of upgraded Helix helicopters. And that is going to be it. Oh, and we have a nuke drop as well from pcap. pcap coming in from the south, taking out the last of Skippy. It should be the last of Skippy's buildings. That's the last of Neo's and the last of Matthew's. That's it. Skippy is done. Neo is done. Matthew is selling. And Matthew has been defeated. And a final.
You are victorious.
Team 2 takes the dub. Now let's take a look at the statistics. pcap, most amount of resources with 160,000. Matthew, close second. Considering that pcap had a little bit of a slower start, it's cool that he caught up. But Matthew did make more units to pcap's 115, and Scottagorn, the undeniable master of unit creation, with 183 created. Matthew lost 215, nature of the beast with the USA. Then Jack, Neo, and Skippy coming in with roughly 80 units created and roughly 80 lost. Then on the units destroyed, we have pcap taking 197, doing the most amount of destruction amongst all the three teams for Team 2. And also constructed 23 and destroyed 44 buildings. Look at that. That's crazy. 44 buildings, 9 for Scottagorn. pcap Scottagorn doing a ton of work. Good job, guys. Jack, though. Jack destroyed 31 buildings. Yeah, that's center. He was doing a lot of work for that one. Great job, guys. Congratulations to pcap, Scott, and Jack for their dub.